I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did.
He has been pretty focused at what's going on in Robyn's house.
Having kids come back.
Sister Wives star Robyn Brown's two older daughters. This is an issue. Robyn Brown's daughters are in their 20s now. They are no longer girls, but grown women. They are both legal adults. When they decide to speak in front of a camera, that decision is theirs to make. At what point do we start holding them accountable as adults instead of excusing their actions as if they are still children? I can't understand this. They're not much younger than I am, and it baffles me. Watching an adult woman get her ears pierced with Kody, behaving like a 7-year-old, is unusual. Having an emotional breakdown and needing to be carried to bed is not typical behavior for someone in their late teens or early 20s. Robyn has significantly impacted these young women. The real issue is that Robyn has spent their entire lives treating them like children. They have never been encouraged to think for themselves, always being overly protected and controlled. Although they may be adults by age, emotionally, they are still like children. Robyn has done everything to shield them from life, keeping them under her control. Everyone's life is different. But when your whole life has been about hearing others' opinions about you and how you should speak, regardless of whether it's true or not, that's controlling. Robyn has maintained this grip on them at every turn. Both Robyn and Kody are so wrapped up in themselves, they failed to see how they've damaged these children. They tore apart their family so Robyn could follow Dayton, and now she won't let them grow up. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Reality Nexus X. I'm Elena, and I'm thrilled to explore some intriguing topics with you today. Let's jump right in. However, the reality star of Sister Wives, Janelle Brown, is visiting my tiny town. Living in such a small place makes this quite unexpected, but honestly, I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not interested in the terrible drink they're promoting, but I would love to purchase some flowers instead. I really can't wrap my head around how they can sell this product. It's evident that it doesn't work. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just plain to see. While they've lost some weight, their Instagram pages show that they also engage in exercise. I'm willing to bet that any weight loss has little to do with Plexus. I would consider supporting Janelle, but this drink lacks FDA approval, and Plexus has faced warnings from the FDA regarding misleading claims. In July 2023, Plexus settled for $600,000 due to allegations of violating the Federal False Claims Act. They've also been taken to court for being a multi-level marketing (MLM) company. There have been multiple complaints filed with the BB about people trying to cancel their subscriptions. Customers have reported being told their accounts were canceled, yet their credit cards continued to be charged. Many have expressed frustration over the lengthy process and the stress involved in stopping these charges. I truly wish Janelle and Christine would stop promoting this product, as it's harming their reputations. I would be delighted to buy wildflowers from Janelle and Maddie, and I hope they'll offer shipping. Moreover, Sister Wives star Robyn, is that you? What an incredible dream kitchen! Robyn is so talented. How does she manage to balance being a CDO, a New York Times best-selling author, a devoted customer, a snack enthusiast, not a meal prepper, without any stretch marks? On top of that, she's a loyal wife and a financial planner, all while looking stunning and somehow avoiding cooking. And as if that wasn't enough, she even found the time to renovate her $1.6 million McMansion and install a new heated driveway, especially since their shoveling assistant truly moved out of state. Plus, the mother of 6, Janelle Brown, was chatting with her daughter Maddie, and she asked, "Did you catch this?" Janelle mentioned how he keeps acquiring all these assets. Sorry for the poor shot. It took me way too long to capture this. But when Janelle said assets, Maddie did air quotes, and it cracked me up. She has quickly become my favorite kid. No wonder Robyn can't stand her. Janelle may be the family's accountant, but Maddie sure keeps him in check. I found it quite generous of Janelle to refer to them as assets. Kody buys things that lose value almost instantly. It's kind of Robyn and his unique skill. Maddie's little side eye when Janelle talked about Kody was priceless. It was as if she was saying, "I see right through that guy. She definitely knows what her dad is up to." I'm genuinely curious about whether they could be technically embezzling from their LLC, Nexusx, or whatever it's called. Depending on where the money originates, where it ends up, and where it should go, it could potentially be embezzlement or money laundering. It makes sense why Robyn wouldn't let cameras enter her house. She probably doesn't want anyone seeing her assets. I've heard that the mob often buys art to launder money. Real estate and art are considered assets if you know how to manage them properly. For instance, real estate is an asset when you buy and sell properties for a profit and reinvest that profit within 20 or 90 days to avoid certain taxes. That's why wealthy individuals often maintain a real estate portfolio. Following that is art, but it's a gamble. You buy art hoping that the artist gains fame, making it a profitable investment. Creating individual LLCs for apartments is another strategy. If you're sued, they can only claim the value of that specific LLC, protecting your personal wealth. There are so many loopholes. The issue with them, though, is that they spend way too much on things like jewelry, pointless trinkets, and statues that remind me of what my grandma would buy. They lack both taste and know-how. Plus, when they sell the house, they'll need to pay off the other wives, meaning they won't really be able to reinvest that profit and will end up paying taxes on it. Also, they have to pay extra for that land since there's no building on it, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the reality star Janelle Brown's perspective on leaving Kody is fascinating. She maintains such a positive outlook on both her past and her future. I'm all for going all out when necessary, but her approach is quite healthy as well. I appreciated seeing some rare home video footage. That was a nice touch. She speaks like someone who is transitioning into the empty nester phase. She had a fulfilling life raising her kids, and Kody was part of that experience to some extent. However, that chapter of her life is now just a memory. Some moments were happy, others sad, but all were filled with craziness, fun, and adventure. Now she's stepping into the next phase of her life, and as a fellow empty nester, I can relate to her feelings. I like Janelle, but she seems to have this attitude about everything. I can't tell if it's just her laid-back personality or if she deliberately avoids thinking too deeply about things. Honestly, every time Janelle mentions how much she loved plural marriage, I can't help but think, of course you did, you had Christine. I'm not entirely sure what their lives were like before the show, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I recall, Janelle said she had the freedom to work all day because Christine helped care for the kids. For her, plural marriage appeared easier since she could lead her own life while Christine seemed to take on the role of the stay-at-home mom. Although Christine has stated that she loved being a stay-at-home mom, it's clear that her perspective would differ, especially in how Kody treats them. Additionally, Janelle's kids were parentified at a young age because she had to work. Yes, it may have been beneficial for her, but it seems that this was only possible because others were there to support her. While having that kind of support is invaluable, and one of the reasons polygamy could be advantageous, it feels like a significant oversight for Janelle not to acknowledge that her experience was made easier by the sacrifices of others. As well as, I really enjoy analyzing this show. It serves as a fascinating case study in unhealthy human behavior. Recently, I've been reflecting on Kody's rants about not truly loving the original trio, and I wanted to share my thoughts and hear yours. Kody met Mary right after returning from his mission, shortly after his parents converted to the faith. He wanted to impress his dad, so he converted as well. Mary was shy and cute, well-versed in the lifestyle. Kody, being a natural salesman, likely made her feel like the most important person in the room. I've encountered men like that, where it feels like they genuinely like you, but it's really just their outgoing personality. Mary probably believed he loved her, but for Kody, she was someone who could help him navigate this new world. Initially, he was more of a follower and looked to Mary, whose dominant personality began to shine through. This dynamic is why he struggled to be direct with her about Janelle. I believe we're now seeing years of resentment toward Mary emerge, stemming from the pressure he felt to cater to her emotional needs and avoid her outbursts. Mary is quite emotional, which made it hard for him to handle. In later seasons, it's evident that he has stopped trying to please her and is increasingly dismissive of her feelings. With Janelle, who has clearly struggled with low self-esteem, something I think she still deals with, she was drawn to the salesman charm of a somewhat attractive Kody in his younger days. Kody enjoyed the camaraderie with Janelle and welcomed her into the family. She feels more like his best friend, and I think she pretends to be fine with that. In her early days, she seemed lost and was searching for purpose in life, which she found in the AUB and through Kody. Christine, on the other hand, was genuinely in love with Kody. She was quite naive, believing he loved her in return. Again, Kody's attention felt electrifying, especially if someone isn't used to it. I think this is why they all claim to have had a testimony about him. For Kody, Christine was fun and had a good personality, helping to maintain peace in the family. It's apparent that Kody has father issues, and this often comes to light. I can't help but wonder if he might be gay or bisexual and is trying to mask it. He seems to have an unusual obsession with male camaraderie, which he probably won't ever admit or explore, as it would conflict with the image of the great patriarchal leader he associates with his father. What are your thoughts on this? I watched an episode last night where they visited his hometown in Wyoming. I think it was in season 2. One girl mentioned she always thought Kody was flamboyantly gay during their school days. Another even told him that she thought he got into polygamy for the attention, and she said it right to his face. Also, Janelle's daughter Maddie was definitely fishing for gossip, right? Does anyone else think her question was more like, "How are you, Robyn, and the kids?" Or, "When are you planning to visit?" If Maddie really wanted the scoop, she'd go to her mom's instead of calling Kody for the details. It's hard to believe she'd just ring him up and say, "Give me the tea." Are we all on the same page here? I suspect Kody was actually trying to get information about what his wives were up to, and Maddie ended up telling him about Christine's desire to leave. After that, I think Maddie got annoyed for being used by Kody and chose to distance herself. It seems like a mix of Maddie asking him questions he didn't want to answer, while also telling him things he wasn't ready to hear. This is Kody we're talking about. He probably got defensive, feeling like Maddie was challenging his authority. I doubt she said anything beyond simple questions like, "So, when are you going to start building?" Or, "Have you talked to mom lately?" Honestly, Kody pretty much revealed his own faults during that talking head segment. It makes more sense that he called Maddie to fish for gossip, and she put a stop to it rather than the other way around. I feel like Kody often realizes his mistakes after the fact and then tries to shift the blame to someone else, almost as if to absolve himself of any responsibility. Furthermore, considering reality star Kody's negative reactions whenever his wives or kids bond with anyone outside of Robyn's circle, is it really surprising that the family found it easier to disengage from their friendship with Mary? Kody has been quite vocal about his expectations of loyalty, which likely influenced how the others viewed Mary. Do you think he openly spoke poorly about her to them? It's possible that his low opinion of her rubbed off on them, and they felt they would gain favor with him by aligning against her. I recall during one of their not-so-therapeutic therapy sessions, he accused Mary of maintaining plenty of friendships outside the family, but lacking any within it. It almost seemed like he took pleasure in her struggles with family relationships, and was frustrated that he couldn't control her outside friendships or turn them against her, effectively isolating her. Is it possible that Kody played the same loyalty or suffer game within the family, particularly regarding his disdain for Mary. He didn't need to use that loyalty tactic with Janelle and Christine because they were already distanced due to past disagreements. I suspect he might have been aware that Robyn was feeding her some nonsense, but I'm not entirely sure. While Mary isn't perfect and has made her share of mistakes, Kody's treatment of her is inexcusable. If their marriage was truly over before the show began, he should have addressed that long ago and encouraged her to seek a release or divorce. Instead, he strung her along, giving her just enough hope to keep her invested, likely because she contributed financially. Then, when Christine decided to leave, Robyn began manipulating the situation, claiming that Kody is so hurt, he needs us, just stick with me. However, sister wives Star Robyn Brown seemed genuinely thrilled to announce Christine did not pass the test. It's striking how young she looked back then. However, it didn't seem like she was excited to keep repeating herself. In fact, I think she became uncomfortable having to say and yell that she passed while Christine didn't. I'm not a fan of Robyn, but this situation is definitely being taken out of context. The context is crucial here. The humorous part was watching Kody struggle to understand that Christine had failed the test, rather than the fact that she actually failed. It felt like a comedy show given that they all had multiple failed attempts at this. Also, Vegas, why not consider renting in an apartment complex? I'm sure this topic has come up before, but as I'm rewatching, I can't help but wonder why they didn't all rent apartments or townhomes within the same complex. It would have made it easier for the kids to see each other and for everyone to access all the moms. They likely would have had a central playground, pool, and other amenities available. There must have been plenty of large apartment complexes in Vegas that could accommodate them. So why didn't they go this route? On the other hand, I'm not sure I would want to rent an apartment with 6 kids. A quick glance at Vegas rentals reveals only a few properties with 4 or more bedrooms, and those tend to be one-offs rather than multiple units. While 3-bedroom apartments might be more common, that would mean 3 kids sharing a room, which could feel a bit cramped. Maybe if they had bought an entire complex together and renovated it to suit their needs, but wouldn't that effectively just be a large house? Additionally, so my stink isn't on her. The captions didn't pick up exactly what Kody said, but he actually believed that Christine was leaving for Utah to distance herself from him so she could date again. What's with all these references to smells? After Robyn's mom advised her to get her scent out there, I can't help but wonder, is this a regional thing? Some sort of rancher slang? It really grosses me out. In my opinion, he treats women like cattle. At least he seems aware of his own odor, I guess. Did they ever show Christine's reaction to that comment? If she didn't laugh uncontrollably, I'd be surprised. Kody is just so cringeworthy. Christine, if you're watching this, please post something about skunks or share your favorite post-breakup shower scrubs on Instagram. I promise it'll be our little secret. He's really disgusting. Honestly, it's so gross. Robyn's mom telling her to put her scent out there makes me gag. I'm so glad for Christine that Kody's stink is finally off her. However, examples of Robyn's mean and selfish behavior that were overlooked. I've noticed more instances of Robyn's true character, and I'm curious about what else might have been missed. We all recall the incident where she kicked the dog out of her path, which infuriates me, and how she intentionally arrived late to Logan's graduation. Additionally, there was the moment she pushed little Truly aside. I'm certain there are numerous subtler examples that went unnoticed. Do you think Kody requested their removal because they portrayed him and Robyn poorly? I wonder what the reasoning was behind that. Another clear instance of Robyn's unkindness is evident in her parenting style, the way she lies to her children, and her evident delight when Christine didn't pass her realtor exam, as noted by another poster who mentioned her broad smile. I'd also heard there was another moment where she pushed Truly aside, but I didn't catch that one. Plus, ultimately, did TLC fulfill their promise when they first launched Sister Wives? I find myself questioning whether TLC is deliberately allowing Kody and Robyn to speak and behave without restraint, showcasing his manipulative, abusive, and narcissistic tendencies on camera. By doing so, they may be shielding themselves from accusations of the same behavior. In reality, they are giving viewers a clear glimpse into the harsh realities of polygamy and the behaviors of the men within those communities by allowing Kody and Robyn to reveal their true natures in each episode. TLC aimed to create a show that portrays the realities of polygamy and the underlying dynamics of the associated cults. By simply letting Kody be himself, I believe they have succeeded in that objective. Honestly, I wonder if Kody's facade would have been so easily dismantled without TLC's involvement. It's uncertain whether the truths would have come to light if the wives hadn't seen the footage. Without TLC's presence, I think the family might have remained relatively intact. However, is Kody Brown truly unaware that his constant fabrications undermine everything he claims? I find it puzzling in Robyn's tone that he genuinely thinks insisting he never loved Christine, Mary, and Janelle is a wise move. By making that statement, he contradicts himself, especially since he spent much of the series trying to persuade viewers that he cared for all of them equally. Now the audience is left with a dilemma. Either the old Kody was deceitful or the new Kody is. Regardless of the conclusion, Kody comes off as untrustworthy and unappealing. In my view, his ridiculous narratives have been systematically dismantled by the fan base, forcing him to constantly reinvent those tales. Initially, he claimed he treated everyone equally, yet the original wives were never satisfied. Now, he suggests that they essentially imposed themselves on him against his wishes. His lies have finally caught up with him, leaving him with no clear path forward. However, since he needs the money and is unwilling to take a regular job, he will likely stick with the show until it eventually fades away. Over the last few seasons, the series has revealed Kody as a deceitful, manipulative, resentful individual prone to tantrums, consumed by self-interest. This is often the type of man drawn to polygamy. From his perspective, it doesn't matter whether we believe or like him. He returns to his large home and collects his paycheck no matter what. He conducts his interviews alone from a couch, spouting whatever seems believable just to get through it and secure his income. It's the easiest job imaginable. He's essentially akin to any GOP member. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for future updates. Your feedback is important, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.